We're back.
Yay. It's been a couple of weeks and we're really delighted to be back with you again on our Live True to You podcast.
Where we bring you a piece of wisdom, something to play with, to contemplate, to ponder for your week. Mm-hmm. And this week we're looking into opinions, potential, and shoulds and coulds.
And specifically, we're looking at relationships, okay? And what is it like when you see great potential in your partner or your kids or someone else, and you see that they're not doing and living out their potential, right? So it's rough, and it's hard on them, it's hard on you. And what happens is you can have an awareness. It kind of starts with an awareness. Like I went to my mom's residence facility a couple weeks ago. I was taking care of her, and I walk into the building and I often get this, "Oh, you're so tall, you must play basketball. Did you play basketball?" And no, I didn't play basketball. I was an awkward kid and I never really got into it. But because I was tall and they could see the potential for being a basketball player, doesn't mean that that was right for me. So when we put this sort of expectation on someone built out of an awareness, like you're so tall, or you're good with a ball, you are good at this, or you're happy all the time, it can get turned into an opinion that there's an awareness, but then you have the opinion that kind of encapsulates the person and locks them into, well, then you should. If you could do something, you should do it, right? So
not at all. Yeah, and particularly when you look into your relationships, how often do you see that potential in someone and have that thought, why don't they? Or you even speak that, why don't you? You should do this, or you could do this from your perspective. And that's the key. Just because there's a potential in someone else doesn't mean that they can do it in your way, because they are a unique being that does life in their unique way.
And they may never live out what you think is their potential, what you formed an opinion as their potential.
Mm-hmm. So really be aware this week. When you see potential, what do you do with it? Do you hold on to it? Do you create an opinion that they should, or they could, or that you should, and you could, and why don't you, etc., right? Just be aware. When do you lock that awareness of a potential into an opinion and make it so? And forgetting that life is ever changing. Potential is ever changing and has many, many elements to it. Just because you can perceive one element of a potential, like, yeah, Juna is tall, but does that potential actually translate into basketball playing?
Not for me.
No.
Yeah.
Right? So be aware in your relationships how fast you come to that conclusion, that opinion, they should. Mm-hmm. And it really doesn't matter whether that's your relationship with yourself or with another person or the world, right? Why doesn't the government? Why don't rich people? Why don't homeless people? Why don't people who struggle with addiction? All those potentials can turn into opinion and be very, very limiting and don't contribute to the situation actually changing.
Mm-hmm. So what we are recommending and inviting you to contemplate is just when you perceive a person, you can perceive the potential, be a loving space for that potential to show up and not get attached to when it shows up or how it will show up in the way that you've decided it should or could. And it's just really relaxing your attachment to how another person lives their potential. Mm-hmm. And in our relationship, we have sometimes, like, I always think and see Sabina as a very happy person. She's very happy-go-lucky and upbeat. And there are times, of course, she's human and she has a rough time. And then I go, oh, she's not happy and she should be happy. And then and what am I doing wrong? And if I can just relax and just go, okay, she has the potential to be happy. She has the potential to be light about something, and she's not, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. I can just hold her in this loving space of knowing that she will come back to this way or not. It might shift, and just hold the space and hold the potential for someone. And just because you perceive a potential in someone doesn't mean that you have the permission to put that opinion on them or to force them or to cajole them into it. And it is about timing as well. It's really about being the presence of seeing what they could do, but also be willing to see what they won't do and what they're not choosing and what they're just not choosing it now, or they may never.
Or it's not their path, right?
Yeah.
It's not Juna's path to be a basketball player, but to be a loving present. Like last week was really challenging for me, and she was just present with that loving space without having to fix it or correct it. But what she did is, hey, come, I'll do some body work with you. And she put her healing hands on me and helped me to shift that energy by just being present, aware of my potential, but not needing it to come out in a certain way. And that really shifted something big for me into, okay, here I am, onward, forward. Yeah, there was no need for it to be explained, expressed, or me being cheered on or anything. It was just that presence and the awareness of my potential. That was truly the best medicine ever.
And there's more where that came from. So.
Yay!
Yeah, I was just aware of how, the awareness of a potential of someone can also be a projection. And that's something we haven't even talked about, but because you want them so much to be that, let's say your partner is a very shy, withdrawn person, and then you want them, you perceive or hope, you have hopes and dreams that they could be a very talkative person and that they will want to converse with you, but that's not really in their nature. And so we can project easily upon people to be a certain way. We can project a potential onto a person where it's really not their potential. So that's just another aspect to be aware of.
And again, that's the interpretation of a potential through your own filter, right? If you had this, you would. But you're a unique being, and they are theirs. Yeah. Right? To really honor them and just not interpret their potential or anybody's potential, but be curious, even with yourself. Wow, I feel this creativity come forth. Should I paint or should I do a sculpture? Who knows? I wonder, right? Go into this with curiosity. Also with the other people. I'm curious how that will express, and just lovingly, I love that, lovingly be that space for them to unfold it, discover it, or not.
Because that's often how it begins. You have an awareness, and what is that awareness? Where is that coming from? And then we often just lock into that awareness and make that, we want to hold on to it and create an opinion around it, and that's where we can really do damage. So it's just really opening up into, I wonder how this will show up or not. And really be okay with it. Like we talk a lot about living true to you, and this is what it's all about. Like, how does it show up or not in the moment? And we cannot predict. We cannot. I mean, we can try all we want, and we can make all kinds of plans. But what happens is there's life that moves through us and flows in a particular way. And it's about getting out of the way, surrendering to what is really true inside of each of us, what's inside of you in the moment. And when we can clear those projections and those expectations of others, all of the opinions we have about our partner, then they can just show up as they are and still be loved. Hopefully you can still love the person for who they are not, who you wish them to be, who they're not showing up as, love them in all of their diversity.
So this week, and take a moment right now, remember or think about a potential of someone else or yourself, right, that you see, and just be present with that. Your mind recognizes there's a potential. And instead of taking the story further with your mind, connect with your heart. And just lovingly hold yourself or the other in that space. With curiosity of how it will unfold. Without fixing it into anything other than being space with it. And being in wonder and awe that that potential is there. How beautiful. Wow. Thank you. And maybe it will be always a slumbering potential. Who knows? So really play with that, dropping out of your head into your heart when you recognize somebody should, could, maybe would, but will not, all that dynamic, and drop into that loving space that you can be.
Yeah, that's the challenge for this week.
And beyond.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us this week, and we will be back for another transmission next week. Enjoy and let us know how it goes. What comes up for you as you perceive the potential in others, what they could choose, what they're not choosing, what you could live out but you're not living out, and then really opening up to no judgment and just being present. Let us know how it goes. All right. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.